Hello. Trying to sort the deepfake stuff out. It seems to have been broken. Looks like I've broken my camera as well. For fuck's sake. Good start. Let's try this. There we go. Do it the old-fashioned way. Cool, there we go. Yeah, I forgot I changed my Twitter name because I had like a really old username, which has my date of year of my birth in it, which is just dumb. So yeah, got rid of that. Yeah, pro tip, when you're young, don't make usernames that have your PII in them. How's the music? Not too loud? Turn it down a bit. Cool, so yeah, we are up to task 22 of the Wreath room. Let's paste that in, so if anyone wants to hack along, feel free to join the room. So yeah, today we're going to learn about command and control boxes. If you're using the attack box and advised to skip to 32, which we're not, so we can keep doing this. Empire is not installed properly. Hey, just a guy, how are you?
Hello, Vulcan salute.
Vulcan salute. If you're comfortable with Docker, okay, we don't see that. So we have a stable shell because we've finally got our admin credentials. With a foothold in the target network, we can start looking to bring what is known as a C2 command and control framework into play. C2 frameworks are used to consolidate an attacker's position.
What is OPSEC?
Yeah, exactly. I failed OPSEC as a kid. So yeah, we can simplify post-exploitation, privesc, AV evasion, pivoting, looting, covert network tactics, etc.
Herder of Cats says, "Good birthday is changeable only once, I think."
Yeah, no, this was on a username, so you can change your username like as many times as you like. Yeah. The ones that get me are like Facebook though, where you've got to like upload your ID now to prove it exactly who you are. Like they want to fully validate all the data. So as well as providing a red team with extensive collaboration features, there's many C2 frameworks available. The most famous and expensive is likely Cobot Strike. However, there are many others.
Have you tried Shellfire yet? We're always looking for feedback.
No, I haven't. I've only done like a few rooms, but I will add Shellfire to the list.
Only asking because you're using Kali, which now officially ships with it.
Where do I see that? How to train your dragon wiki. Oh, VPN. It's not. It's not How to Train Your Dragon. Assuming it's that one. But no, I'm just using the OpenVPN that comes with it. So, an excellent resource for finding and filtering C2 frameworks is the C2 Matrix, which provides a great list of the pros and cons of a huge number of frameworks.
Says, but Cobalt Strike is expensive and we're poor.
But you can use what's the free one they've got? Not Multigo, it's
Pilphus S.
Armitage. Yeah.
Nightbot says,
Oh, don't worry about that.
Greater than I'm not scared. Stop posting links. Warning.
So we see. Shellfire, see that. It's still.
Pilphus S.
Shellfire Kali is the keyword you use. The map.
Yeah. This package contains an exploitation shell which focuses on exploiting LFI, RFI, and command injection vulnerabilities. Cool. Alright, I've got the tab. I'll check that out. So, what the hell is the C2 matrix? Explore the matrix. Okay, so just got loads of C2 types. Okay, so we have a system shell on the host, making this an ideal time to introduce the second of our 3 teaching topics, the C2 framework Empire. Slither. So PowerShell Empire is, as the name suggests, a framework built primarily to attack Windows targets, although especially with the advent of .NET Core, more and more functionality may become available in other systems. It provides a wide range of modules to take initial access of a network of devices and turn it into something much bigger. In this section we'll be looking at the principles of PS Empire, as well as how to use it and its GUI interface Starkiller to improve our shell and perform most exploitation techniques on the Git server. The Empire project was originally abandoned in early 2019, however it was soon picked up by a company called BC Security, who have maintained and improved it ever since. As such, there are actually 2 public versions of Empire, the original and the current BC Security's fork. Be careful to get the right one. The material was originally written for Empire 3, but it has now been updated in response with the release of Empire 4, which has a very different way of operating. Make sure to use Empire 4 if following along with the material. We'll be looking into both Empire and its GUI extension Starkiller. Empire is the original CLI-based framework. It has now been split into a server mode and a client mode. Starkiller is a more recent addition to the toolbox and can be used instead of, or as well as, the Empire client CLI program. Alright, so how do we install it? So Empire and Starkiller via Docker are both already installed on the TryHackMe box. If you're not using your own machine, then skip this task, which we are. So if you're using your own VM, then you need to install both Empire and Starkiller. It's up to you which you use. Both will be covered in the task regardless. You need to install Empire. In the age of past, it was a much more complicated process involving a Git repo and setup scripts. These days, it's easier just to use the apt repositories. So let's install those. Yeah. With both installed, we now need to start an Empire server. This should stay running in the background whenever we want to use either the Empire client or Starkiller. Just do sudo PowerShell-Empire server. Okay, well, I can't really continue until this is done, so let's get that. 3 minutes. Let's make sure the network's got time. 23 minutes left, I don't think it does. Six minutes, it's gone up. Sorry. What does that? Let's read on. So it would be more common to have an Empire server running on a separate C2 server, usually hosted with cloud infrastructure linking back to receive inbound connections. Multiple pen testers or red teamers would then be able to connect to a single central server. This is entirely overkill for our use here. Instead, we'll just run both the server and client on the same Kali instance. With the server started, let's get the Empire CLI client working. You're welcome to skip this step if you prefer to work exclusively in Starkiller. Which one should we use, Starkiller or the CLI? What's people's verdict? Seconds. Stay now. Progress. Halfway. So starting the Empire CLI client is easy as PowerShell Empire client. Just connects. With the server instance hosted locally, this should connect automatically by default. If the server is on another machine, then you need to either change the connection information in the config YAML file or connect manually from the Empire CLI client using connect hostname, username, password. Starkiller is an Electron app which works by connecting to a REST API exposed by the Empire server. With the Empire server running, we can start Starkiller by executing Starkiller in a new terminal window. From here, we need to sign into the REST API we deployed previously. By default, this runs on localhost with the username Empire admin, password of password123. Cool. This looks quite funky actually, the UI.
Feeling like life is slowly draining away?
Is it, times are bad, are they? I need to stop playing such chill music. Oh, actually, it's Brinstar. This is good. Oh, there we go. Which server should be restarted? Network. Let's see if this breaks all the VPN connections and stuff. Yeah, restart. Login required. Fuck you. Let's just do that quick.
That installation took forever.
Yeah. I don't know if we're getting like slightly slower. Where's my mouse gone? Yeah, since I gave this VM 4 CPUs, it's just crap.
It's the installation that is dreadful.
Oh, okay. Stop job is running. There we go. Yeah, since I gave this 4 CPUs to play with instead of 1, it actually doesn't crash as often as it was, but it seems to have slowed my host down. Even though I've got like 16 cores to play with. But weird. Right, so let's get us back where we were. Right, so it's Wreath, sudo PowerShell Empire
Change your TDS
server.
web link.
PowerShell Empire. Idiot. Okay. Let's rename these Wreath. CD Wreath.
$10 to go until we reach the goal of 15 and unlock new emote slots. Use those Prime subs if you have them.
This is on 200. Oh, yeah, it's not going to connect because we haven't got a VPN. So let's sudo enable VPN and connect.
Herder of Cats says, for me it only crashed once with 4 CPUs. But at that particular time Windows didn't boot up properly either.
So which crashed? Your VM or something else? SSH shuttle.200. Let's try this again. Wrong identity. Oh yeah, CD. Why do you have to be like this? Just give me the command prompt back. Oh, why did that break? Or did it not? Let's make sure that we can ping it as well. Ping 200. Alright, cool. So I don't want an unreachable, I want a connection.
Yeah, my colleague VM.
How did this go to sleep? Like, it was literally up a second ago. It's so frustrating trying to use these boxes because they're just up and down like a yo-yo. Like, it's sketchy enough knowing that other people can hack this same environment. You've basically got like a free-for-all scenario, and then they add in a network timeout as well. It's like I'll just get hacked and DOSed by TryHackMe itself. Like, why not?
But it was the only time. And I used pretty much daily for hours at a time, and I rev it up constantly, and it takes quite a beating regularly. It still doesn't crash.
Nice. So we got anything now? Alright, that's better. I'm gonna connect to this now. That's better. Right, okay, so we're getting somewhere. So got connection, this is running locally. Let's make you purple, let's make you blue. And let's continue where we were. So we've got that running. Let's go with the Star Killer. So don't go away. You just do Star Killer. Hey Shama.
Victory and smiley face.
Cool, there we go. So we got Star Killer up. Let's put it that side. Oh, my mouse has stopped working. I'll wake up. Still works on my host. There we go, it's working up now. Spoke to scene. Oh, it's not doing all that stupid thing it was doing the other day. Yeah, alright, minimize. It did this the other day, I couldn't click anything on the side of my screen. If I like move it there. Wait, that's still fucked.
Do your boxes also crash/stop after 1 hour and 40 minutes exactly instead of 2 hours? Cause this is the norm for me.
Yeah.
No idea why. It's just the way it is.
You like to turn them off early. Let's go full screen again. Right. Oh, this fucking Cali pisses me off. Like, oh look, I can't drag the box, and that if I get the right sweet spot, it will let me drag it. There we go. So here, so only from like this point of my screen to the right can I do anything. So I can't click file. If I move it, now I can click file. Right, anyway, so we can log in. I can't click the fucking thing. So from here we need to sign in with the REST API we deployed previously. Oh yeah, so it runs Empire admin password 123. So it's Empire admin password 123. Cool, okay, so we're on. We've installed and executed. Let's see if let's just save machine state. I just want to see if closing the VM and opening it again will fix it. Because I'd like to use both sides of my screen.
Reinstall Kali? It takes a few minutes only. Unless you want to update it too, which takes 20 to 25 minutes with a super good internet connection.
No, we shouldn't need to do that. I don't know what it is, just VirtualBox, for whatever reason, just stops me using the left side of my monitor. But I can do it like in the host. The host is fine, it's just the guest that shits its pants. So let's test it. Come over here and we can type. No, they're all dead. Alright, one last thing, let's just fucking reboot it. Because I got this the other day and then I think I restarted it and it magically worked again. I hadn't changed anything. I'm not sure what's causing it every now and again. So just come over here. Yeah, cool. So we can click stuff again. That's what I mean, it's just totally random. Like, 1 minute I can do stuff, next minute I can't. Right, so my Wreath terminal, I want the open VPN on this workspace. I want sudo PowerShell Empire server. There we go. I want Starkiller.
Maybe reinstall VirtualBox then? I crashed it completely too without wanting to, but had to reinstall VirtualBox completely. Embarrassed smiley face.
Yeah, I mean, I got the update the other day, so I literally like reinstalled it. I think either yesterday or the day before. It's just some odd. I think it's where I snap things to the left, and then I think it was probably GNOME or something. Just doesn't let go of the fact that I've snapped something to the left. There's like a window or something sat on top of the other things that you're trying to click on, so it doesn't actually click the things you actually want to click. That's what I think's happening anyway. So Empire, Starkiller. What else do we need? Oh yeah, the Trihetmi room. Right, so finally, task 24. PowerShell Empire has several major sections in it, which will be covering the upcoming tasks. Listeners are self-explanatory. They listen for a connection and facilitate further exploitation. Stages are essentially payloads generated by Empire to create a robust reverse shell in conjunction with a listener. They are delivery mechanisms for agents. Agents are the equivalent of a Metasploit session. They are connections to compromised targets and allow attackers to further interact with the system.
I don't do updates for VirtualBox. It's super hard to get a stable version, and usually updates mess it up.
Yeah, that's probably what's happened here, to be fair. Right, so modules are used in conjunction with the agents to perform further exploitation. For example, if they can work through an existing agent to dump the password hashes from the server. Empire also allows us to add in custom plugins which extend the functionality of the framework in various ways. However, we will not be covering this in the upcoming content. In addition to these practical applications of the framework, it's also a nifty credential storage facility, automatically storing found credentials in a local database, plus many other neat features. Many of these extra features, such as messaging functionality, are tailored for teams attacking a target. We'll not be covering these collaborative features in much detail, but you are encouraged to look at them for yourself. There's a problem. As established previously, our target, the Git server, does not have the ability to connect directly to our attacking machine. Due to how Empire handles pivoting, we'll need to set up a special kind of listener, so before we do that, we'll need to learn the normal process for setting up Empire and Starkiller, using the already compromised web server as a target. Once we have a handle on how it operates, we'll switch focus to the primary target, the Git server. In each of the following tasks, we'll cover the relative section in both the Empire CLI and the Starkiller GUI. You're welcome to pick whichever one you prefer or follow along with both. Cool, so we've read that. Can we get an agent back from the Git server directly? No, so we have to wait. Right, listeners. Listeners in Empire are used to receive connections from stages, which we'll look at in the next task. The default listener is a HTTP listener. This is what we'll be using here, although many others are available. It's worth noting that a single listener can be used more than once. They do not die after their first usage. So let's start by setting up a listener. Having started the client, we're met with the following menu. Should we skip to the Starkiller one. Yeah. So here we have a listener with the Empire CLI. Let's do it in Starkiller. When we first launch Starkiller, we're placed automatically in the listener menu. The process of creating a listener with the GUI is very intuitive. Click the Create button. New listener type. HTTP. So several options appear. Notice that these options are identical to the ones we saw earlier in the CLI. Once again, the name, host, port for the listener. Make sure that you use a different port from previously if you already have an Empire listener started. So our host is going to be .50.91.172. Our port is going to be, let's do 9000 like the thing says. With the options set, click Submit at the top of the page and go back to Listener menu, clicking on Listeners. Is that what we have to set up? Cool, so the new listener has started.
This is a good OSCP box. Empire is a thing in the OSCP documentation.
Oh, really? So yeah, it's Wreath if you didn't get the link earlier.
Musek says,
Web link.
So we start the web listener. Oh, they actually named it. Should we name it? Can we edit? So web. No, it won't let me change it now. I guess I can delete it and just create another one. Create HTTP name web server Starkiller. Oh, you got that right. Cool, so go back to listener. So now we've got the same one. Cool, so if you've set up the listener Empire, it will also show up here. Stager, what's next? So stages are their payloads used to connect back to a waiting listener, creating an agent when executed. We can generate stages in either the CLI or Starkiller. In most of these cases, this will be given as a script file to be uploaded to the target and executed. Empire gives us a huge range of options for creating and obfuscating stages for AV evasion. However, we'll not be going into a lot of detail about these here. Let's look at the generating a stager in the CLI, which we're not doing, so let's do the GUI. So, not unexpectedly, the process of generating a stager is almost identical. We switch over to the stager menu. Cool, and then we go create. We're doing multi-bash. And we're connecting to, where was that? Listener, there we go. Connecting to the web server. This brings us back.
Says, yes, it's on my to-do list, but not rushing into it. Still want to be more confident on the Linux side of things before deep diving into Windows exploitation.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind doing OSCP at some point. I'd probably want to do like some kind of boot camp going into it though, or at least have like, because you can pay extra for the lab access, can't you? I think that's pretty much guaranteed, like required training. I wouldn't want to do it just like without any prep. I think you just setting yourself up to fail. Alright, so where did we say? So we selected the listener, click submit, leave the other options at default. Brings us back to stager menu, and at this point we can copy the stager to clipboard. Okay. Once again, we would now have to execute this on the target. Using your choice of CLI, generate a multi-bash stager and save it as a file on your disk. So let's save as. Let's go. I'm already in Wreath, so we're going to call it Star Killer multi-bash .txt. We're going to give it a where's my syntax? There we go. Syntax bash. Bonus question, read through the code in the script and see if you can decipher what it's doing. You'll need to decode the payload from base64 before doing so. So let's go Cyber Chef. From base64. So it's importing sys, importing RE subprocess, it's doing PowerShell or P process EF grep little snitch. It's finding little snitch process and it's opening CMD. Okay, and then it's doing a urlib request, so it's going to make a web request to news.php. And this is just sending the data out over that connection. Got execute join out. So agents. Now we've started a listener, created a stager, it's time to put them together to get an agent. We've been building up towards getting an agent on the compromised web server, so let's do that now. The process for this is identical whether we're using Starkiller or Empire. We need to get the file to the target and execute it. There is a variety of ways to do this. The simply could just be to use your CLI text editor, create a file on the target, copy paste the script in, execute it. If using this method, please do it in the temp directory and follow the file name, username, shell naming convention. We could also use something like here document to execute the entire script without writing it to disk. That said, this is overkill. If we read through the script, we can see there's three main parts. The green square is where we have the shebang, identifying that it's a bin bash script. The red square is the payload, and then blue square contains post-processing. Specifically, these two lines tell the script to delete itself and then exit. Knowing this, we can just copy everything in the red square and execute it in a terminal. This results in an agent being received to our waiting listener.
Code review Always liked it. But if I'm pressured by time, I just skip it entirely. Regarding OSCP, a company I had an interview with for a contester position, they were supporting you in taking the OSCP 1 to 2 years after you start working as a contester, as it's quite a difficult exam.
Yeah. Oh, that's really cool. Yeah, no, I big respect for firms that will kind of guide you down the cert path, because as soon as you get the cert, you become massively more attractive to hiring managers of other places. So it's a big risk on their part to train you in that way, but it's also in their own interests because they get a better candidate who knows what they're doing and it's proven by some third party. So yeah, it's good that they're investing in you at any rate. And if people aren't willing to do that, there's plenty of companies out there that are, so don't get cold feet and feel free to jump around. So I guess we're gonna have to go back to our box, which we should be just SSH root connect to Wreath. What do you mean my key isn't there? Should be right there, what are you on about? Okay, cool, we're in. So let's copy that. So let's run that. Then where do I see some connection back? This results in an agent being received by our waiting listener. In the CLI it looks like this. In Starkiller we have to go to the agent tab. Cool, and there we go, so we got our agent back. Logged in as root on the right internal IP. To interact with an agent in Starkiller, we can either click on the name or click the pop-out button in the action menu. Cool, and then it gives us a bunch of options. To delete agents in Starkiller, we can either use the trash can icon or pop out the agent window, or kill the button in the action menu for the agent back in the Agents tab of Starkiller. Using the help command for guidance in Empire CLI, how would we run the who am I command inside an agent? Well, that's a bit of an unfair question because we're not using the fucking CLI, but sure. Right, new tab. Right, rename you because you are 200. Which was this? This wasn't the Git one, it was the... server. Webmin, that's the one. So this is webmin. Color these up. So, where the fuck do we get the Empire CLI from? I've got to go back and do it. Empire overview. No, listener. This one. There we go. Empire client. So PowerShell. Empire.
Wish I could stay more to learn with you, but I'm super tired and it's very late here. Until next time, IPSEC. Vulcan salute. Cool face.
No worries, dude. Thanks for dropping in and saying hello. Keeping me company. So, yeah, I'll see you next time. So, if we do help. And what was the question again? The agents. How would we run Who Am I? Interact agent name, resource, use credential, use listener, use module, use stager. Guessing it's use module. Or it might just be interact, I don't know. What's the... Let's do use module. Use credential, use module. Use view admin menu, what's that? Ooh. Add notes, clear notes, create user. Delete malleable profile, disable user, download and enable user, help, keyword obfuscation, load malleable profile, obfuscate, pre-obfuscate report, upload. Still not seeing any options to do anything, so it's got to be something. Who am I? I'm just assuming there's like some kind of prompt for it. It's not gonna be like admin. Who am I? Is it? Right. Could be connect. Could be agents. Agents. Right, how'd you get out of the admin? There, back. I typed back it. Oh, I was in agents, okay. And then help. So we went into admin, agents. What's this got? Clear, help, kill, list, rename. Use module. Help. Yeah, that doesn't work. Maybe interact. Plugins. Help list. Sponsors, resource. Run the Empire commands in the resource file. Is it not just like, who am I? C#? Module compile failed, of course. Alright, main, what's that? Or is it agent? Who am I? Something like that. Shell, maybe? Yeah, cool. Command queued. How do I tell what it's run? There we go. Task room. Cool, okay. That wasn't in the fucking CLI listing, that's... Yeah, weird. Surely you'd have to be on an agent first, like agents... Do it that way. Clear, help, kill, list, rename. Alright, yeah, it's just confusing. Alright, kill your agent on the web server, then let's look at proxying Empire agent. Where do I kill it? Kill agent. There we go. Get out of here. Alright, hop listener. As mentioned previously, Empire agents can't be proxied without a SOCAT relay or an equivalent redirect, but there must be a way to get an agent back from a target without outbound access. The answer is yes, we call a hop listener. Hop listeners create what looks like a regular listener in our list of listeners. However, rather than opening a port and receive a connection, hop listeners create files to be copied across to the compromised jump server and served from there. These files contain instructions to connect back to normal, usually HTTP listeners on our own attack machine. As such, the hop listener in the listeners menu can be thought of as more as a placeholder a reference to be used when generating stages. If this doesn't make sense for now, don't worry, hopefully it will when we've worked through an example. The hop listener we'll be working with is the most common kind, the HTTP hop listener. When created, this will create a set of PHP files which must be uploaded to the jump server and served by a HTTP server. Under normal circumstances, this would be a trivial task as the compromised server already has a web server running. However, out of courtesy to anyone else attempting the network, we will not be using the installed web server. Let's look at starting a listener in the CLI, which we're not going to do. We're going to do the GUI. So we go back to listeners, and we create a new one, type hop, and it's going to give it the host http //10.200.90.200, and it's going to go 74002. And the redirect listener is going to be existing listener, so that one. So now going to give us a drop down. So again, we set the host, port, and redirect listener. If you have a hop listener set up using the CLI, then you should also change the out folder to avoid overwriting the previously generated files. Create a hop listener in CLI and or Starkiller. Right, well I think I've done it. Alright, time to put it into practice again. You should already have a hop listener started in Empire or Starkiller. If you don't, take the opportunity to start one before continuing. With the listener started, there are two things we must do to get an agent back from the Git server. We must generate an appropriate stager for the target. We must put the hop files into position on 200 and start the web server to serve files on the port we selected during the listener creation. The server must be able to execute PHP, so a PHP debug server is ideal. So let's start with generating a stager. Again, we're going for Starkiller. So we're going stagers again, create. We want multi-launcher. Listener is the hop. Base 64. If using the CLI, it will be presented with a payload copy. If using Starkiller, you can copy the payload. Copy. Whichever message you choose, save the provided command somewhere. Do not execute it yet. We'll need it once we have the hop files on the jump server. Save. Let's call it hop as well. Okay, cool. Let's get the jump server set up. So we need to get the webmin. So we need to be in make dir / temp hop msec cd temp hop msec pwd. Transfer the contents from the temp hop, or whatever you called it, across to this directory and put it on the target server. Good way to do this is zipping up the contents of the directory. Transferring the zip file across using one of the methods previously. We can then unzip the zip file on the web server. Are we doing that if we've done it with Starkiller? Don't think we do we? The output of ls must match up with the screenshot. There should be a news.php in your current directory with admin login. Well, I'm guessing that we can just run this and it's going to extract everything. So let's double check. Go back to CyberChef. There's all sorts of shit. Process PHP. So yeah, I think I can just run that. So. Oh no, because it's PowerShell, so my yeah, that didn't de-dick because it didn't copy the whole thing. Yeah, I was going to say it's not going to run fucking PowerShell, is it? Well, that's dumb. So you have to do the CLI method. Welcome to the Empire. So we're doing use listener, HTTP hop. So we're doing set, redirect listener, CLI HTTP, set host 10.200.90.200, set port 47000. Options. We don't need to do options. Execute. Yes, I know it already fucking exists because the stupid thing told me to do it and it doesn't fucking work. So delete that one and create one through the CLI. Okay, we can't.
Hey, Rob,
Hi.
Hey,
How's it going, dude? Use listener. HTTP. Try hack me's up to its usual fuckery. Shit not fucking working. CLI HTTP. Set host 290 200. Set 47000. Fucking piece of shit. Let's reload it. How do I delete the fucking thing?
greater than equals.
Yeah, like this. I've deleted this. It's not in. Like, it's fucking gone. And it doesn't get rid of it. So what the fuck do we do instead? Do use listener HTTP hop 2? No, I don't have one. Oh. I create one here. Launcher HTTP hop. No, it's not a hop, is it? It's a listener, not a stager. There it is. Right. Fuck off. Refresh.
What a piece of shit. This is what I'm talking about.
Well, every stage of this so far has been like, here's the CLI one, here's the UI one. I've been following the UI one, and then all of a sudden there's a fucking CLI option and no UI option. And they're just like, oh yeah, go and do this bit in the CLI, and then see it in the UI, and then the next bit, do this in the UI, in the CLI. Oh, and fuck you using the CLI because we won't add anything. So it's like, great, why not just tell me to use a CLI from the beginning? And stop teasing me with a nice UI that I can use. So yeah, then we go back a step, fucking redo everything we've just done. Alright, set fucking direct listener CLI HTTP, which again I haven't set up because that doesn't exist. That was another thing earlier. It's probably going to fuck me up. So like here we've got an agent. Yeah, my listener for this should be web server. So we do that. Where the fuck is this? So we set the redirect, we set post back to 10, 200, 90, 200. Set port. Then we've got to go back into this and see what the fucking port was. 9,000.
Nightbox says.
You can change your TDS voice here. Web link.
Okay, let's just set it to the thing it says, 47,000. I'll go change it in here. I can't change it because you can't fucking change it in here. You can only fucking change it in here. Right, then we do execute. So that started successfully. So there we go, so we've got that. So now we do actually want that to be 47,000. I've got to fucking delete it. Delete. Right, there we go. So now we've got the hop. Get server. So this is the bullshit bit. So in Starkiller, create a new stager. It's going to be a multi launcher. We're going to set the hop to HTTP hop Starkiller. That's all it says to do. So we copy to clipboard. So we saved that already. That was in here. So then on the compromised server, make the fucking temp file. Why does it say to hop zip it?
Hirakai says,
So using the GUI is worthless in this tutorial.
Well, no, like, so the GUI gives you this. If you use the CLI, then you copy this PowerShell. If you use the GUI, then you get a PowerShell. But then you say, go to the temp directory of the compromised server, create and enter a directory called hop, whatever your username is. Done that. Transfer the contents of temp hop, or whatever you called it, across to this directory. But what fucking contents? There's nothing in it. We haven't done anything with it other than make the directory. Like, there's not like a file that I'm missing. Yeah, it feels like there's something missing between this step. In the temp directory, create and enter the directory. Transfer the contents of temp hop across to this directory on the target server. And we can't run it, it's a fucking PowerShell script. Right. Transfer the contents from HTTP hop. Oh, what a sack of shit. Like, seriously. Good way to do this is by zipping the contents of the directory. I'll run it, there's nothing fucking in there. Yeah. Unless it's on my local, which it doesn't fucking say to do. So it'll be document HTM Wreath. No, fuck knows where that gets put. output to there.
Subjecting me through these fucking ads Mikey magic.
CD space. Right, let's fucking put it there. Piece of shit. Then we've only got admin get login process news. Okay, right. So what it doesn't mention is this is on your fucking Kali box. So if you do that, and even that doesn't fucking work. Why doesn't it like that? This option may be used to run a privileged shell. Brilliant. Alright, let's just do that. Sudo zip. Alright, so that's done. So now we've got a hop zip. So we can then unzip the zip. So now we unzip it on the web server. Make this.
That's sweet traffic.
Sweet traffic. What are you on about? So, got work it. Right. Curl. Output HTTP 1050 91.170 dash hop.zip. So here we go, we've got hop.zip, unzip, hop zip. The output of ls must match the screenshot. There should be a news login. Yes, so now we're making progress. So now we actually need to serve the files. We need to generate a hop listener task. Unfortunately, we already know this server has PHP installed and it serves as backend. This means that we want to use the PHP development server for the website to serve our files. So we can do that. And then we're going to want port 4700. That looks like it's working. Show you the screenshot. It didn't say that though, it didn't say that the dev server was open. I guess because I capped it straight into there. Cool, and then this says toll when grep 47000. So we're listening. Remember to open the port in the firewall if you haven't already. So let's fucking remember how to do that. Firewall CMD. So we need to open up 7000. This is a handy trick when we need to serve PHP files, as our standard PHP web server is not capable of interpreting the PHP language, and so it cannot execute the scripts. Both the reverse shell we received in task 19 and our evil win VRM are already running in PowerShell, so we need to adapt the stager in order for them to run. Instead, it's easier to use it with the web shell we created to compromise the machine. Remembering to URL encode the stager first. After sending the web request, you should receive an agent in CLI Starkiller. So that bit is done. So we're listening on there. So this can stop. So yeah, we want to do, what's it, evil. I need to set up this shuttle again. This is a shuttle route. How to establish the SSH session. Oh, need to be in the Wreath folder, then shuttle. Evil win RM. And then it's already in PowerShell, so that's not going to work. I need to do my fucking burp shell again. Please tell me I saved the request. I did not. So let's do another one, but sweet. So we need to go all the way back to another layer because we've not been sat on it at the same time. Where is it? Exploitation. So we need to go proxy, open browser. We've got to fill all this fucking crap in again. Change that to post. And we need my command. Which needs to be URL encoded. Encode as URL. Send that to repeater, repeater. So we can go back to the original thing. Right, so now, if this is all set up correctly, we've got an SSH shuttle through my first box into the second box. That's going to send this PowerShell command. The PowerShell command is going to go connect to this hop that we created. This hop is going to talk to this listener, or rather this listener, which should give me a new agent in here. So let's try, if we go send. It did fuck all, what did it do? Undefined index A in B. Right, took 3 attempts, so I think that was it. Git serve. Task, who am I? Entity authority system, so it worked. So this is right. So let's put you over there. So we've got our agent back. So now what's it going to get us to do? So as mentioned previously, the modules are used to perform various tasks on a compromised target. Through an active Empire agent, for example, we could use Mimikatz through Empire module to dump various secrets from the target. As per usual, let's look at loading modules in both the CLI and Starkiller. Let's just switch to UI because it's better. In the top right corner, we can search for our desired module. Let's search for the Sherlock module. So interact module Sherlock. Okay, and then just leave the output string, click submit. To view the results, we need to switch over to reporting. And then we want music on. So reporting, what the fucking hell does this do? So we go click the down arrow to see the task results. We've got just some CVEs that it's found. User motor ring, task scheduler, pop-up menu, track pop-up menu, font driver buffer overflow, Nessus agent, Win32k escalation of privilege. Read the above information and try to experiment with the Empire modules available. So if we go back to agent, what else can we do? We've got 2 PowerShells back there. So what other modules can we do? Let's do shell who am I, text read file, upload, download, lateral movement, enumeration, keylogger, Kerberos, port scan, run as, PowerShell, sudo spawn, bash store, piggyback, cron tab, mail, login hooks, Active Directory scans, SSH launchers, screensaver, hash dump, keylogger, pillage user, X keylogger, 0 logon. Got Mimikatz, look, golden ticket, silver ticket. So let's save that. Let's extract the hash for. Let's leave it blank and then it should pull them all back, right? So. We'll do like that. We can't save that. Yeah, something like that. Oh, well, yeah, let's have a look. Let's do the next one. Interactive shell time. The interactive shell was a new feature in Empire 4. It effectively allows you to access traditional pseudo command shell from within the Starkiller or Empire CLI. This can be used to execute PowerShell commands as you would in a reverse PowerShell. To access the interactive shell in the CLI, just use shell command within the context of the agent. In Starkiller, it's even easier as the shell can be found directly in the agent interactive interface. So we just go agents. I think we already found this one earlier, so yeah, there you go. That's quite cool. Find and use the interactive shell both in the Empire CLI and Starkiller. Takes a little while for that to come back, doesn't it? Cool, and then conclusion. We've now covered the fundamentals of working with the command and control framework. Empire is significantly more extensive than the basics we've looked at in the time and space available. It's well worth doing some more research on it in your own time. The overarching takeaways from this section are that C2 frameworks are used to consolidate access to a compromised machine as well as streamline post-exploitation. There are many C2 frameworks available, so look into which ones work best for your use case. Empire is a good choice as it's a relatively well-rounded open source C2. Empire is still in active development with upgrades and new features being released frequently. Starkiller is a GUI front end for Empire which makes collaboration using the framework very easy. This has very much been a whistle-stop tour of both Empire and the topic in general, but hopefully it's been useful nonetheless. So if we read the conclusion, bonus exercise, try working through this section again using a different C2 framework of your choice, which we ain't going to do. Personal PC enumeration, what's this? We'll soon be moving on to the final teaching point of this network, antivirus evasion techniques. Before we can do that, however, we need to scope the final target. We know that from the briefing that this target is likely to be other Windows machine on the network. By process of elimination, we can tell that this Thomas PC, which he told us has antivirus installed. If we're very lucky, it will be out of date though. As always, we need to enumerate the target before we can do anything. But how can we do this from a compromised Windows host? As mentioned back in the pivoting enumeration task, Nmap won't work on Windows unless it's been properly installed on the target. Scanning through one proxy is bad, but at this point we'd be scanning through two proxies, which would be unbearable. We could write a tool to do it for us, but let's leave that for the time being. There'll be more than enough coding in the upcoming section as it is. Instead, let's look closer to home and ask one burning question. How do Empire modules work? For the most part, Empire modules are quite literally just scripts, usually PowerShell, that are executed by the framework for an active agent. In other words, these are just PowerShell scripts, and we have PowerShell access to the target. For the sake of learning, let's upload the Empire port scanning script and execute it manually on the target. In our current situation on an isolated target, communicating through a jump server, under normal circumstances, uploading tools manually would be something of a chore. Think relays and web servers. Fortunately, Evil WinRM gives us an easy option for transferring and including tools. The first option available to us is the built-in upload-download feature built into the tool. From within Evil WinRM, we can use upload local file path, remote file path to upload files to the target. Conversely, we can use download to download files back from the target. These could come in handy if we say wanted to upload a tool to the target, save the result to a log file, and then download it back. In both instances, if we miss out the destination file path, the remote file path or on upload, the tool will be uploaded into our current working directory. For example, upload Windows binaries and netcat, Windows temp netcat, and then so they list it, echo demo, download demo. In this example, we upload an example netcat tool to Windows temp, then create a new file, demo.txt, download it to the working directory. Note that this real-world uses Windows temp directory is often a bad idea as it's flagged as a common location for hackers to upload tools. In this case, we're using it to keep the box neat and tidy for other users. Uploading tools is well and good, but if the tool happens to be PowerShell script, there's another, even more convenient method. If you check the help menu for Evil WinRM, you will see an interesting S option. This allows us to specify a local directory containing PowerShell scripts. These scripts will be made accessible for us to import directly into memory using Evil WinRM session, meaning that we don't need to touch the disk at all. For example, if we happen to have our scripts loaded at ops scripts, we can include them in connection with Evil WinRM. This let's use this option to include the Empire port scan module. Empire scripts are stored in the user shell PowerShell Empire server data module source situation awareness network. If you installed it as app as recommended, a copy of this tool is also included in the zip file attached to task 1. or it can be downloaded here if you can't find it locally. Regardless, we can now sign in as the administrator using the password hash that we discovered, including the Empire network scanning scripts. So let's fire this back up. So cd Wreath. So now we're going to do so we want user share PowerShell. Empire server data module source situational awareness network. Let's run all of that. And then we're going to stick that in. What's it? File opt. So let's make that folder and just paste it in, which we can. Bastard. Right, let's open terminal here. CP all of that. Copy it to there, no. And sudo. Right, so they're all in there now. So now we can do evil winrm, pass the hash, and then we're doing s. This one's .150. No, why did that stop? Let's restart the shuttle. Take time where the fucking network's died again. It looks like it did. Right, just gotta wait a couple of seconds for it to sort of revive. Okay. Come on, start back up. It'd be nice if this did some kind of like alert to say that it was going offline soon. I don't think I can extend it anymore, yeah. And ping myself. Yeah. So. Destination host unreachable. Well, it's not looking good. That's probably why people are trying to reset it. Just like refresh the room. I mean, that might be it for today if it doesn't fucking connect. There, it stopped. Start. Honestly, why they added this network state in it, just dumb. Come on, ping gods. Network starting my ass. Let's try the VPN again. This is shocking. Like, how can your networks not be up? Network status running. It says it's running. Ain't doing dick. That's so annoying. We were so close as well to doing another fucking task. Finally! A connection. Let's start the shuttle. Restart. There we go. Alright, then either win RM. We're in. So now we can do invoke, port scan, PS1. Just did. Fuck all. Should it not have uploaded all those files in there? So you've got WinRM, uadmin, hash, IP, pass, op scripts. Just at the top so you guys can see it. There's nothing in there other than the chisel that I uploaded. Invoke port scan PS1. Get help. Invoke. Really? Get help. PS. Right, that's better. Right, so then we can do. Oh yeah, I wanted to save this while I was here, so let's save that to my note. So we do invoke port scan hosts. $290, $100. 100. Top ports 50. Cool, so that worked. Notes, let's go right down the bottom. Look how many things I've saved for this. This is a evil in our what's that? So we can see 2 open ports. No, I didn't like that. Which ports are open lowest to highest? No space? Yeah, there we go. Cool. Then we go pivoting, which I think we might leave it there. So we've got task 34 and then the rest for Privesc. Or should we keep going to exploit POC? Yeah, let's get rid of the personal ones. So we found 2 ports. RDP won't be as much use to us without credentials, or at least a hash. The web server is worth looking into. Wreath told us that he worked on his website using a local environment on his own PC, so this bleeding edge version may contain some vulnerabilities. Before we do that, however, we must figure out access to the development server on Wreath's PC from our attacking machine. We have 2 immediate options for this, Chisel and Plink. If you followed the recommended route of using Shuttle to pivot from the web server, then a Chisel port forward proxy is recommended here, as it will be relatively easy to connect through the SSH shuttle without requiring a relay. Look back at Chisel task if you need help with this. When using the option, you will need to open a port in the Windows firewall to allow a forward connection to be made. The syntax for opening a port using NetSH looks something like this. Please use username naming convention, for example. I've already got Chisel on this box, so this works quite well. Local ports 47000. Rule name. What was the ruling? Chisel. Sec. Direction in, allow. Cool. Okay, and let's just save this in my notes. No, that's Burp Suite. So this one is firewall rule open. Whether you choose the recommended option or not, get a pivot up and running. So I need to go back to my notes to where the pivots were. chisel. Said remote port forward, didn't it? Let's forward proxy. Forward side proxy, there we go. So chisel. Chisel server. We're going to be connecting with using chisel. Run the chisel server on the Git server, which is what we're doing, and the chisel client on your attack machine. Yes, but what fucking port do we need? Does it need one? Just do 49000. Let's just pick a random one. And then notes again. So proxy port 49000. 49000. 10.200.90.150. And that's the tools. Chisel, there we go. So we want .7.3 Linux AMD 64 MSEC. Tunnel socks listening. That should be right. Test it, ping 100. I guess that won't return. Using the Weapalizer proxy on a tenant method, identify the server-side programming language. This doesn't look like it's working. Yeah, timed out. That's up. Oh, it wasn't 4.9, was it? It was 47,000. Yeah, so fuck this one up. Wait. Okay, yes, we got a client connected. Different version, but that should be alright. Connected. $10, $200, $90, $100. So that one's working. Why isn't this one working? Do I have to tell it to do the proxy? Fox5 proxy IPs 10.200.90.150 proxy ports 47000. We're getting pings and stuff through it. So. IO timeout. Connecting, connected. Client is different. Hopefully that shouldn't matter. Oh, come on. Why don't you connect? See if the chisel... Yeah, that's right. I'll probably have to get the Windows version to match. 7.3. Minutes on 64. Ah, I've got it here. So let's not do that. Let's go. Okay. Why doesn't that work? Missions are now, of course, change mode. Plus X. Chisel. So now it's connected with the same version, it should be. Can't tell if it's complaining or not. Connected. No complaints. But no connection. Ah, fuck's sake. Let's try socks 4, see if that's it. No, it doesn't like that at all, so it's definitely socks 5. Try it with DNS. It's doing something, it's just not fucking doing it. We do it through this. HTTP://1. No, not sure. I need to tinker with Chisel to get it to work. So yeah, let's end it there. Let's find someone to raid. Who's on InfoSec streamers? Hate Handles is back on. Is he still tinkering with his... what was he doing the other day? ESXi. Yeah, it looks like it. Cool. Alright, we will raid Mr. Hate Handles. Cool, so that started. Please say hello. We'll be back with hopefully task 35 onwards once I get this chisel thing working properly.